Hello everyone, I'm Sharpedo43 once again bringing you all another Wi-Fi battle. This one's going to be in the RU tier and my opponent for it is going to be TheKillerNacho once again. As you can see, this is probably going to be the first Smogon battle that I do in the year basically because it is a new year after all. And yeah, I figured the snack would be alright. Like, he was streaming battles, so I figured he'd definitely be ideal for the first match of the year anyway, so at least in the Smogon format, because remember that technically the first battle that I had this year was actually the week 8 battle that I had with Choice Specs in the PGL, so but this is a different kind of a format anyway, so I decided to do an RU battle just because I had this team that I made right here. It's kind of the same, but not really, because I have a Rotom-Frost and a Beware and a Lycanroc, so and I haven't used them all together in a team anyway, so it's kind of like, it's kind of different in all honesty. But yeah, so this team I had it lying around and I kind of wanted to see how well it does. And I didn't want to go into a battle without it's because the thing is that this team looks pretty damn bad, honestly. It looks cool, but it definitely doesn't look very viable either. Like there's no knockoff users on this team, there's no taunt users, there's not enough pivoting options, no hazard setters, and yeah, it's not very good looking. Like, I think the only thing I have on this team is just power in Beware and Roserade and maybe even Lycanroc, but other than that, like, not a whole lot. So I have to basically, I don't even know, honestly, just I didn't even know. That's why I'm gonna be using this team against the Snack here. And since Snack is one of those people that likes to string teams together, I figured this is like the perfect way to actually approach this team, approach with this team basically in the RU tier. So yeah, and so and not to mention, he doesn't consider himself to be, like, you know, that good in the lower tiers anyways, and neither do I, so we're pretty much even in that scenario. So, but I do think his team is a lot better than mine's, because he does have a Galvantula that can set up sticky webs. He does have a Machamp, which I think can get knockoff. I don't remember if it can or not. I think it can though. But and he also has Metagross, which can have Stealth Rocks. And I think it can also get taunt. I don't know if it can or not. And not to mention, he has his setup sweeper, which is the Cloyster, which is scary. His wall breaker, which is Swallow, which it can either be Guts or Specs Boom Burst, which hits a lot of things really, really hard. He has a lot of the good things, and he has a Mega on his team. Like, he has the perfect team, bro. That even though he doesn't consider himself that good in the tier, his team is definitely better than mine, to say the least. So all I can do now is just see what's gonna come out of this battle in the end, honestly. But yeah, so here we go. This is gonna be my boy, the Snack. It's been a while since I last battled him, but not really. Like, we did battle a while ago in the UU tier, but this is the first time we're battling in 2019. So anyways, we're gonna lead off, or he's gonna lead off with Galvantula, and I'm gonna lead off with Goodra. And the reason why I led with Goodra was because I do have a fire move on Goodra, and he does have a Metagross and a Galvantula, two things that are weak to fire moves, and both of them can lead just to set up hazards turn 1. But he did lead with Galvantula, but he ends up switching because he expected a fire move, and he goes into Blastoise. I switch out because I didn't want to take an Ice Beam, and I'm gonna go into my Milotic here, hoping that he does go for the set Ice Beam. However, this Blastoise, unbeknownst to me, ends up Mega Evolving, because this Mega Blastoise thing, turns out it's actually in the RU tier as well. Like, it's been legalized in RU. I don't know for how long it's been in the RU tier, but I was not expecting this, honestly. Or at least I don't think I was. I honestly don't remember. But I don't think I remember seeing a Mega Blastoise in RU whatsoever. I always see regular Blastoise, but Mega Blastoise in RU though, that was just like holy cranberries. How the hell? But anyways, he goes for Dragon Pulse right here, which is actually bad because he got a crit, and now I'm forced to recover. But because he saw that coming, basically, because I was forced to recover, he goes into Galvantula, and that kind of means that the crit kind of mattered, because he went into Galvantula predicting me 100% to go for a recover there, given that it took too much damage. But here I'm going to switch into Rotom-Frost because I didn't want to take a Thunder. He ends up going for Sticky Webs, which is fine with me because I do have the defog on this Rotom, and I can just go for it right now. I wanted to see if he'd stay in and go for Sticky Webs, and if he does, I can just probably see how much damage it does, and if it does less than half, I can just go for a Blizzard afterwards. But he ends up hard switching into Machamp here, actually, and I did not want to stay in, so I just Volt Switched here, and went into, I think, Milotic again, actually. Yeah, I go ahead into Milotic. The amount of damage that this Volt Switch did, I couldn't tell if it was actually a Assault Vest or not, so I just went into Milotic, like I said. I wanted to see what kind of set it was. He goes for Stone Edge, I don't know what he was predicting, honestly. Maybe Rose Ray, because that thing does resist fighting type moves. But if this thing can get Ice Punched, he could have so gone for Ice Punch. I don't know. But yeah, I go for Toxic now just because I want this thing to be crippled. I don't want this thing to I don't know, like hit a lot of my team real hard and just get away with too much. So like I want to put it on a timer is basically what I wanted to do. Here he ends up going, I twisted myself there. But here he ends up going into for the dynamic punch, and it does a lot of damage. But that also tells me that this is a no guard Machamp as opposed to a Guts Machamp. That's why the Toxic there earlier was kind of a risky play, because if it was Guts, I would have probably been destroyed, honestly. But that would have meant that my Rosary could just come in and hit it with a powerful Sludge Bomb, because he would not be Assault Vest. But I don't know. That was a 50-50 that I decided to play on myself, and thankfully it worked out. So here he's gonna hard switch into Galvantula again, I think. And I went for the recover, because he definitely saw that coming, given that I already take over half damage. So, but here unfortunately I hurt myself and I cannot recover basically. So another bit of RNG that's not in my favor once again. And here I'm forced to switch into Rotom once again. So I think here I make somewhat of a misplay. I end up going for the obvious Defog again, but because he knows that I can go for Defog with this thing, he ends up going for the Bug Buzz, and I unfortunately was not expecting it to do that much damage, honestly. I thought it would do under half, but then I realized that this Rotom wasn't even bulky to begin. Well, yeah, it was not bulky to begin with. It was actually a max speed, max special attacking set. So it wasn't even bulky, and I kind of thought it was for some reason, but it wasn't. So as a result, I hard switch into Lycanroc, hoping he doesn't go for Giga Drain or an Energy Ball. He goes for Bug Buzz again. Now the reason why I switched in Lycanroc was because I didn't want this thing to set up Sticky Webs just all willy-nilly. I needed to get some damage if he was actually going to end up doing that. And then maybe eventually send Rotom back in and go for the Fog. But here he goes into Blastoise, not wanting to take the Excel Rock, and he just I just go for this move. Yeah, it's because I did not know that this Lycanroc was carrying this. I think at the time when I was making this team, I think I was shifting between Rocky MZ and Lycan MZ, because I was actually curious of the move itself. But yeah, I completely forgot that these freaking moves can get, you know, censored, because, or not yeah, actually, yeah, who am I kidding? It's censored as fuck, to the point where I have to resort to 1930s quality film here just to freaking showcase it in some capacity. You guys won't see it very well, but yeah, it's kind of like that, honestly. But anyways, back in the present day, we're gonna take out this Blastoise with Lycan MZ. This was the time I felt like I had to do it, because even though he had a Metagross, which he could have switched it in, maybe like on a double switch or something like that, I just felt like I wasn't in a position to just play it safe, or yeah, play it safe and just switch out. No, I had to just go for it there. And maybe he wouldn't have expected it, who knows, because yeah. But thankfully it all worked out, and now here I'm just sending out my Milotic to see if he has Bullet Punch. He does not go for Bullet Punch, he ends up going for Earthquake. I don't know why, but because he could have so gone for Bullet Punch there, honestly. But I don't know. So here I go for the Recover, I think. He's gonna switch out and go back into Galvantula. Actually, no, I don't go for Recover here. I actually go for Scald right here, because this Galvantula hasn't taken any damage. I thought, and I figured let's just get some damage with Scald. Maybe we can get the burn and maybe like have him get crippled down every turn. But unfortunately, I don't get the burn, and I stay in because I don't want this thing to just get Sticky Webs for free. He ends up taking me out with Thunder though, and that sucks because now I don't have anything to deal with the Cloyster, kind of. And so as a result, here I'm just gonna send out Lycanroc, try to scare him out, making him think I'll go for Accelerock. But here's a fun fact: this Lycanroc actually has Crunch, yeah, because I didn't like Bronzong and at the time, and I just didn't want to deal with Bronzongs because, you know, they're immune to Drill Run and shit. So I just figured run Crunch just to do some damage on them. And here he switches into the Metagross expecting a Rock type move, and look how much damage that did. Over half. And I think Metagross's defenses are actually pretty dang good, so for it to have done that much damage is like, holy shit. Makes me glad I ran Crunch. But yeah, here I switched into Goodra, I think, and he ended up switching into Machamp, I think. I don't remember which one came first. I think I did switch out though. Yeah, I switched into Goodra because I didn't want to take a Bullet Punch. I still wanted to see if he had it, and he ended up switching into Machamp, I guess, not wanting to take another Crunch, because I honestly thought he would go for Bullet Punch. But yeah, either way, here I switched into Roserade just to see if he wanted to go for another Dynamic Punch. I think this was a risky play too, honestly, because he could have had Ice Punch, I think. It's because I don't remember if these things get Ice Punch or not, but I think he does. And here, yeah, he switches into Metagross here again though. So as a result, I was like, okay, you know what, we're switching out a lot, so we just go for the Hidden Power Fire right here. And he ends up switching again, which is actually kind of interesting, and I'm just gonna do a lot of damage to this Swallow. with Hidden Power Fire, which is actually kind of crazy. I didn't think it would do this much damage. I know I was Life Orb, but I mean, freaking Hidden Power Fire is not stab on Roserade either, honestly. But damn. So here I decided to switch in Goodra because I saw the Flame Orb and I was thinking, you know what, this is a physical swallow, so it's not going to be Specs Boom Burst or anything like that. So I kind of don't need Goodra. Just looking at what's left on this team, I don't necessarily need Goodra like entirely. Like maybe only for the Galvantula, so I just figured, okay, let's just sack it here because I don't have my Lodic anymore to even switch it in on this Swallow anyway. And Swallow would probably just take it out in one hit anyway, so what choice did I have? So here on the double down, I decided to go into Roserade because it seems to be the one thing that matches up well against the majority of his team anyway. So I go into Roserade, he goes into Galvantula, and here's where I decided to go for Sludge Bomb in case he goes for Sticky Webs, obviously. Thankfully, he does not go for Sticky Webs here, and he just goes for the Bug Buzz. I just go for the Sludge Bomb just to take this thing out because I want this thing to be taken out completely. So here, okay, now this is where the things get kind of risky. I take out the Galvantula, good, but now he gets the opportunity to send in this Cloyster. I do know that Cloysters can get Ice Shard, and this is the perfect time to go for it. He does not go for it. I go for Giga Drain. So I was thinking maybe he wants to set up Shell Smash first, and he's Sash maybe, which he was. I was hoping he wouldn't be. I was hoping he'd be the White Herbs variant instead, but no, he was Sashed. And he does get the Shell Smash off, which means that here now he can definitely go for the Ice Shard and probably take me out entirely, because if this thing can outspeed my Lycanroc thanks to the +2 speed it gets from Shell Smash, then it out prioritizes Accelerock with Ice Shard. So, but here, this is where I wanted to see if he even has Ice Shard. I switched into Rotom just to see what move he wants to go for. He didn't have to go for Ice Shard here either, now that you think about it, because it's already fast anyway, so he doesn't need to go for Ice Shard. But I wanted to see what move he goes for. Maybe he would reveal to me Ice Shard there. I would know if I would have lost or not. But he didn't end up going for it here. He ended up going for Icicle Spear. Reason why I sacked Rotom was just because I felt like Roserade could still be useful if I can take out the Cloyster with Lycanroc's Accelerock. So here I go into Lycanroc, and this was pretty much the moment of truth. I needed to know if he has Ice Shard or not. And turns out he didn't have Ice Shard, because he would have gone for it right here, because every Lycanroc has Accelerock, and you know that you have to go for a priority move against Lycanroc if they're ready to go for Accelerock on you. So yeah, so we do take out the Cloyster, which means, damn, thank goodness we didn't have to get swept by the Cloyster, honestly. Here he goes into Metagross, I guess trying to scare me out to switch out, thinking I'd go for Bullet Punch, or he'd go for Bullet Punch. But I didn't really care about losing Lycanroc here, so I just went for the Crunch. And he probably did not have Bullet Punch here, honestly. And he goes into Machamp, and this is where I wanted to just go for Stone Edge just to get some damage off. And here it turns out to have the Bullet Punch with the Machamp, so I was like, oh. Should have had it on the Metagross, and that would have been a lot more better, honestly. But I don't know. What do I know, honestly? Here, I sent out Beware. I was going to send out Roserade just to finish off the match, but I had to consider that Machamp could still possibly be a Solvest, so I just decided to send out Beware and just finish it off. Plus, Beware didn't even do anything for the majority of this battle anyway, so I figured why not take it out right here. Or bring it out right here and just finish off the battle. But yeah, that's going to be the whole game with the snack. Good game to the snack. That was actually a pretty good battle. The RNG was this time not in my favor. And in fact, it was actually against me, if anything. Because the crit on the freaking Milotic with Blastoise forced me to recover, making me predictable. And then the freaking, what's it called? The hurting myself there, preventing me from recovering again, basically, was what caused me to pretty much be put in bad positions. But in the end, I was still able to win the battle, which was actually kind of cool. And the battle wasn't like very one-dimensional, like it kind of is with other people when I battle a lot. Even with these teams that are not that good, I sometimes get some very one-dimensional battles that kind of like makes me feel like, why on earth do I even team build, honestly? But yeah, so that's gonna be the whole game. Thank you all for watching this battle. Hope to catch you guys in another battle or something. But for now, just take it easy.